Okay, so let's go over, and we're just going to pick up where we left off. So remember, this was last week. We got all the way through all of this. And hopefully, we got to this slide. So raise your hand if you already have this written down in your notes. Awesome. All right, so just listen to me for a second. So when you're doing a problem solution essay, half the work is going to be describing the problem, all right? Clarifying the importance. Why is this a big deal? And I'll explain more in depth on how to make that clear to your audience, but this is going to be a big portion of it, all right? Your plan is your thesis statement, so this isn't going to actually happen until probably your second paragraph, all right? Remember, your thesis statement needs to be a pronged thesis statement. And then finally, the solvency is why it actually works, okay? So here's an example of a topic. Global warming is causing drought. This drought causes problems associated with poverty like starvation and disease. What are your solutions to these problems? Give 3 clear reasons why you feel this way. So what's the big bad thing? The big bad thing is global warming, right? And what is it causing? Drought, starvation, and disease, all right? So the significant harm. Poor people are dying because of drought and global warming. It is important because we should care about the loss of life. Plan, the United States should do something because, and it will blank, blank, and blank, and that's why it solves the problem. So go ahead and write this down in your notes exactly as you see it here with the brackets and everything. For my friends that just entered, we are adding on to the notes from Friday. Our homework tonight has been entered into Microsoft Teams. It's not Achieve 3000. It's a brainstorming sheet. Once you have that written down, put your pens and pencils down so I know you're done. There are some things that you're not going to be able to solve, and we talked a little bit about this last week. You're not going to be able to solve things like poverty. Those are like trap issues. Avoid those if you can. All right? So looking at the actual harms, global warming and drought causes drought, starvation, and disease. So what are some possible solutions? Donate money for the digging of wells, create a water system using rainwater, use a nonprofit organization to help. But the most important thing, and write this in your notes in all caps, choose only one plan. For problem and solution, Choose only one plan. Make sure that you are writing this in your notes and not just staring at me. Choose only one plan. This is hard to do because sometimes when we start getting knee deep into these things, we start coming up with multiple solutions. But in order for you to create a cohesive essay, just one. So option number 2 is to prevent the shortages from taking place in the first place, encourage water conservation, create consumption limits, desalination programs. Again, make sure that you're choosing only one plan, okay? The way that you will spend, I know it says speech, but the way that you're going to spend the rest of your essay is how you're solving this particular problem mentioned in the topic, okay? So if we're saying poor people are dying because of drought and global warming, it's important because we should care about the loss of life. Plan, the United States should organize well digging because it will lower rates of starvation, aid in drought areas, and decrease disease. Alam, what's my first body paragraph going to be about? Lowering rates of starvation, exactly. Parani, what's my second body paragraph going to be about? Do you guys see how this works? So this is a 3-pronged thesis, and I've already set up my 3 body paragraphs. Kohanam, can I have 4? Not for a 3-page essay. If you guys, when you get to college, absolutely, that's fine. But for a 3-page essay, you're actually limited, okay? So lower rates of starvation, access to clean water means people can use it for cooking, irrigation of crops and watering livestock. Aid in drought areas, the wells are sustainable. That means the drought-stricken areas do not get temporary relief. They get relief that helps them become more independent. Decrease disease. Clean water reduces disease for several reasons. 1, dirty water leads to waterborne illnesses. 2, lack of hydration leads to health problems and secondary infections. 3, access to clean water helps doctors more easily treat villagers. All of these things that I've just shown you, these are claims. This is the claim of the first body paragraph. This is the claim of the second body paragraph. This is the claims of the third body paragraph. What am I missing in order to make this actually stick? It's what we're doing in the media center. What am I missing? I've got claims. Missing research, right? I'm just saying things here. These are just opinion statements. I have to have data to back this up, okay? So in paragraph form, write this down. This is your introduction paragraph. This is the type of structure that I'm looking for a problem solution essay. Your hook sentence to bring them in is going to be 1 sentence. The big bad is going to be 2. Why is it important? That's 1 sentence. And then your plan, text, solvency, your thesis statement, that's going to be 1 sentence. While you guys are writing that down, I'm going to call roll one more time. Abbott, Alam, Alcala, Bennett, Bizig, Kara, Castaneda, Cessped, Clark, Cleary, Defoe, DePole, Engbrecht, Frankie, Gallagher, Gershony, Gillespie, Gonzalez, Hubbard, Kohler, McBride, Mellinger, Milligan, Pineda, Pirani, Piscopo, Rhea, Rollins. Thank you, friends. All right, paragraph number 2. Who will do it? So give me 1 sentence as to who's going to be the actor. Is it going to be the United States federal government? Is it going to be some sort of worldwide organization like the United Nations? Will it be a nonprofit organization? And then who's going to pay for it? And then finally, who's going to monitor it? So if you're setting up some sort of a system, it's important that you note that that's part of your solvency, right? You can't just do stuff and then walk away. Somebody needs to keep track of it. Who's going to keep track of it? much the same as you guys have seen before. This is your body paragraph. So claim is one sentence, and then your reasons here, that's going to be the research that you're doing. It's important that you include a counterclaim, and I know that this says paragraph number 4, but this may actually be a little bit later in your essay. This should probably be your very last paragraph. Give a brief summary of what the argument is that you've made, then give a counterclaim. The opposing side may say this, but they're wrong because. The final thing that you're going to give them is the impact. That's going to be that call to action. What do you want them to do? Frankie, just get out your notes from Friday, hon. I'm recording this so you can just go back and take a look at it. All right, if I went too fast, where is this PowerPoint? On the website, very good. So what is a counterclaim? Okay, they're coming to take your argument, and your job is to defend the argument. All right, so critics might argue that the digging of these wells is too costly. The rebuttal would be, however, the cost of life is far greater, and as more people are affected, the cost of treating them rises. All right, leave them with a call to action. I've already told you guys this, so you don't need to write it down. When we talk about impact calculus, this is only for people who are a little bit more advanced. You want it, like if you plan on being a lawyer or something like that, this would be something that you would take a look at. Tell your audience exactly what to do. You've given them all this information. Tell them exactly what to do. All right, put your notes away. Go ahead and get out your laptops. The first thing that I want you to do is open up to Kohanum Web